Hello, students. Professor Piggy here. Today we are talking about implementing secure systems, and I want you to imagine a freshly built brick house in a forest full of hungry wolves. In a perfect fairy tale, the house would already be perfect, but in the real world, administrators must harden, reinforce, and constantly inspect every brick so the wolf never finds a weak spot to blow down. A system is any computing device that can think, store, or transmit data, including servers, workstations, laptops, network devices, mobile devices, and even tiny Internet of Things gadgets. These systems rarely start life in a truly secure state, which means administrators must take deliberate action before deployment and remain vigilant long after the system is live. Security is not a single task, but a continuous process of protection, verification, and correction. Endpoints are especially tempting targets for the wolf because they store sensitive information and act as gateways to more valuable systems. Endpoints also travel, roam across networks, and connect to untrusted environments, which increases their exposure to attack. Because of this, endpoint security software is a foundational defense that every organization must deploy consistently and correctly. Antivirus software is one of the most basic endpoint security controls and should be present on every system. Antivirus software scans for known malicious code, such as viruses, worms, Trojan horses, and other malware. When an infection is detected, the antivirus software can quarantine or remove the threat automatically, stopping the wolf mid-sneak before real damage occurs. Endpoint detection and response, known as EDR, focuses on detecting and responding to threats directly on the endpoint. EDR tools use behavioral analysis to identify suspicious activity instead of relying only on known signatures. This allows defenders to catch the wolf even when he is wearing a new disguise and trying unfamiliar tricks. Extended detection and response, or XDR, expands this visibility beyond the endpoint. XDR correlates data from endpoints, network devices, cloud systems, and other infrastructure to provide a unified view of threats. This broader perspective helps security teams detect attacks faster and respond more effectively across the entire environment. Host intrusion prevention systems, abbreviated HIPS, apply intrusion prevention techniques at the individual host level. HIPS uses behavior analysis, file integrity monitoring, and application control to prevent unauthorized access and tampering. When the wolf tries to scratch at the door or replace a brick, HIPS notices immediately and blocks the attempt. Hardening systems is the process of making an operating system or application more secure than its default installation. Default configurations often include unnecessary services, weak settings, or unused features that attackers love to exploit. Hardening reduces the attack surface and removes easy opportunities for compromise. A hardened system runs only the applications, services, and protocols required for its purpose. If a service is not running, it cannot be attacked, which is a simple but powerful principle. Disabling unnecessary ports and services closes doors the wolf would otherwise try to slip through. Installing unneeded software is just as important as disabling services. Every application introduces potential vulnerabilities through bugs and misconfigurations. Removing unnecessary software eliminates those risks entirely instead of relying solely on patching. Modern hardening often includes modifying operating system settings to improve logging and visibility. For example, attackers frequently abuse scripting tools, and logging may not be enabled by default. Administrators can adjust system settings to ensure all activity is recorded, making it much harder for the wolf to move silently. Default passwords are another classic weakness that must be eliminated before deployment. Manufacturers sometimes ship systems with known credentials that are widely published.
Leaving these in place is like hanging a sign on the door telling the wolf exactly how to get inside. Configuration management enforces secure configurations throughout a system's lifetime. It ensures systems are deployed using approved standards and remain compliant as changes occur. Configuration management works hand in hand with change management to maintain both security and stability. Organizations often use baselines to define secure starting configurations. A baseline represents a known, approved state that systems should match. Deviations from the baseline can indicate misconfigurations, unauthorized changes, or potential compromise. Secure baselines are created, deployed, and maintained over time. Administrators establish an initial configuration, deploy it consistently, and revise it as threats and requirements evolve. This structured approach prevents configuration drift and keeps systems aligned with security expectations.
Master images are a powerful way to deploy secure baselines efficiently. An image is a snapshot of a fully configured and tested system that can be deployed repeatedly. Imaging ensures that every new system starts from the same secure foundation. Administrators carefully build and test a source system before capturing it as a master image. Once captured, the image can be deployed to dozens or thousands of systems quickly. This saves time, reduces errors, and ensures consistent security settings. Imaging reduces costs and improves reliability by standardizing environments. Support staff learn one configuration instead of many, and recovery becomes faster and more predictable. From a security perspective, imaging ensures that rebuilt systems return to a known secure state. Patching is essential because no software is free of bugs or vulnerabilities. Vendors release updates to fix discovered flaws, and administrators must apply them promptly. Unpatched systems are low-hanging fruit that the wolf will always target first. Patch management is the structured process of identifying, testing, deploying, and verifying patches. Testing often occurs in isolated environments to avoid disruptions. Automated tools then deploy patches consistently and report on compliance. Improper patch management leads to preventable vulnerabilities. Operating systems, applications, and firmware must all be kept current. When patching is ignored, the wolf does not need clever tricks because the door is already open. Change management exists to prevent well-meaning administrators from causing unintended damage. Even small changes can have massive consequences if not reviewed. Change management ensures changes are evaluated, approved, documented, and reversible. Through change management, organizations reduce outages and security failures. Changes are reviewed by multiple stakeholders and tracked from request to implementation. This discipline turns chaos into control and keeps the wolf from benefiting from human mistakes. Allow lists and block lists provide another layer of endpoint protection. An allow list permits only approved applications to run, blocking everything else by default. This is highly restrictive but extremely effective. Block lists take the opposite approach by denying only known unwanted applications. While more flexible, they rely on administrators knowing what to block. Both approaches are commonly used, especially in managed mobile environments. Disk encryption protects data at rest by encrypting the entire storage device. Full disk encryption ensures that all contents remain unreadable without proper authentication. This protection applies whether encryption is software-based or hardware-based. Self-encrypting drives perform encryption directly within the hardware. Users authenticate during startup, and the drive decrypts only after verification. If stolen, the drive remains encrypted and useless to the wolf. Boot integrity ensures that a system starts in a trusted state. Measured boot processes verify critical components before allowing full startup. If tampering is detected, the system refuses to boot, protecting the data inside. Modern systems use firmware to initialize hardware and start the operating system. Unified Extensible Firmware Interface replaces older firmware designs and provides enhanced capabilities. Firmware updates, known as flashing, must be performed carefully to avoid damage. A trusted platform module is a hardware chip that stores cryptographic keys securely. It supports encryption, secure boot, and attestation. The TPM provides a hardware root of trust that attackers cannot easily bypass. During secure boot, the TPM verifies that key system files have not been altered. If changes are detected, the system halts to prevent compromise. Remote attestation extends this verification to external systems for additional assurance. Hardware security modules provide similar capabilities but are removable or external devices. HSMs generate, store, and protect cryptographic keys for high-security applications. Many enterprise systems rely on HSMs to protect critical encryption material. Finally, decommissioning and disposal must be handled securely. Retired hardware must have all data wiped and credentials removed before disposal. Legacy and end-of-life systems should be carefully managed or replaced to reduce risk. Security is a life cycle, not a single step. From deployment to retirement, every system must be protected, monitored, and maintained. If we follow these principles, the wolf stays hungry, the house stays standing, and the data stays safe. If this lesson helped you build stronger systems and smarter defenses, be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next lecture. Oink!